Alright, guys and gals, again, Ryan Lebron, and today we're going to talk a little bit about whether you should go, or should I say take the plunge and become an owner-operator, or whether you should just stay a company driver and be satisfied. We're going to talk about that in this video, but I can tell you now the video is not going to last but maybe a couple of minutes. So let's go ahead and jump right in. A couple days ago, I was at our Columbus, Ohio terminal, and I met up with a lady driver that she had only been driving for right at a year, give or take, but close to a year. Only been with the company that I'm with, Creek Carrier, for close to a month, give or take. Now, I'm not going to tell the woman's name because I did not ask her permission to do that. So I certainly don't want to embarrass her, especially, not intentionally anyway. But anyway, the bottom line is, once she discovered that I'm an owner-operator, she started making a comment about that's what she needs to do. So my first question is, why do you want to be an owner-operator? And she said, well, aren't you? I said, yes, ma'am, I am. She said, well, that's what I need to do too then, isn't it? And that right there began our actual conversation, which is the cause of this video here. Let me say this. Let me start out by saying this, folks. Just because one person is an owner-operator and he owns his own truck, or he's buying his truck, and he has privileges that company drivers don't have, just because he likes being an owner-operator or she likes being an owner-operator doesn't mean being an owner-operator is right for everyone in this industry. Let me give you a couple of things you need to look at. When you're a company driver, you might be governed, 60 miles an hour, 62, 65, whatever the case may be. When you're an owner-operator, you have more privileges. Perhaps you're not governed at all. Great example, I'm not governed, okay? When I'm out west and the speed limit is 80, I can do 80 if I choose to, okay? Sooner or later, DOT is going to crack down on all that, and even independent owner-operators are going to be governed. Sooner or later, that day is coming. But for now, I have the open governor, is what I call it, that company drivers don't have. However, you have to understand, the faster you go, the more fuel you're going to burn, which is going to result in more money that you're having to put out in more fuel. Company drivers may not be able to mount things inside the truck, such as the GPS, for example. You may not be able to mount your GPS exactly where you want it or exactly how you want it because the truck doesn't belong to you. Well, I can mount my GPS where I want and how I want, even if it means drilling a couple of holes and shoving bolts through some plastic. But at the same time, and here's the pivot point to it all, if the truck breaks down, and they do break down, I promise you, your truck is going to break down sooner or later. When the truck breaks down, all the maintenance is on you. The company doesn't help you at all because it's your truck. It would be the same difference as you buying a home and then all of a sudden something goes crazy and you go to your banker or you go to your real estate agent and you say, the house needs a new roof. Can you put the new roof on for me? And the banker or the real estate agent is going to say, you're crazy. The house belongs to you. That's your job. Well, the company does the same thing with the truck. They're going to look at you and say, the truck belongs to you. That's your job to do all that. So being an owner-operator is nice. It has its privileges. But folks, I'm just going to be real with you. It is not for everyone. Just like trucking itself, being out here on the road every day, being gone away from your family 4 and 5 and 6 weeks at a time, it's not for everyone. I done a video not long ago about how to choose the right trucking company for you. if you're one of those people, you need to be home relatively often, then you need to research different companies and see what companies run through your area to get you home more often. Being an owner-operator is the same thing. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot that needs to be considered. What I tell people, it is a privilege that comes with a price. You have to be willing to pay that price. I'll give you a great example. As a company driver, if you break down and they can't find you another truck soon enough, then you start getting what they call breakdown pay. As an owner-operator, you don't get that. You don't get breakdown pay at all. Nothing. And then not only are you having to lose your downtime, you're also having to put out shop costs, parts and labor, and possibly even a hotel stay. If you're a company driver, the company takes care of all that. So just because one person is an owner-operator that you know and they talk all good about it, I'm telling you straight up, I've been an owner-operator for 3 years now, and it's like an old country song I heard many years ago, everything that glitters is not gold. Bottom line is, I enjoy being an owner-operator because it gives me rights and privileges that I like having. But that doesn't mean being an owner-operator is right for everyone. There is a lot of costs involved with being an owner-operator. I'll give you another great example. I've been an owner-operator for 3 years now. I have yet to be able to take time off for an actual 1 week's paid vacation. I don't get a paid vacation. If I take a whole week off, I just lose a whole week's worth of production. If you take a whole week off, you still get 1 week's paycheck. I don't get that. So I have to wait until the truck is paid off, and then I have to time things just right to where when I do take a week off, it's not going to affect my bills much. So there's a lot of cost in being an owner-operator, guys. And I'm not talking about costs as in money. I'm talking about costs as in general, overall, everything. Another great example. As a company driver, you bring your truck home on home time. You leave it parked. You might check the oil and the water, but that's about it. When I'm on my home time, if I'm home 4 days, I promise you, if you knew my wife, you could talk to her. She will tell you, I spend at least half of my home time doing things on this truck. Preventive maintenance, checking things here, checking things there. I'll spend at least a day and a half to 2 days of my home time, every single home time, under this hood or under the truck doing things that I'm, just trying to prevent this or trying to prevent that. So owner-operator side of things might look good in your eyes because some people have been doing it for a long time. But folks, I'm telling you, it's not for everyone. I told this lady a couple of days ago, like I said, I met this lady driver a couple of days ago at our Columbus, Ohio terminal. And this is exactly what I told her. If you are not at least a little bit mechanically inclined, then you need to stay away from being an owner-operator. It's just that simple. If you're not at least a little bit mechanically inclined, stay away from being an owner-operator, period. Now, if you are mechanically inclined and you are considering being an owner-operator, my strongest, deepest, heartfelt, sincerest suggestion, strongly suggest you be in the industry for a minimum of 5 solid years before you take that plunge in buying your first truck. Folks, I'm going to tell you straight up, there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of little bitty things that can go wrong over here that affect something real big over here. And I would strongly suggest anybody being a driver for a minimum of 5 solid years, so that way they have the time to experience different weather patterns all throughout the year, different road conditions all over the country, different mechanical issues under the hood. There is so many different variables in this industry dealing with these trucks and the road conditions and the weather conditions. If you are considering being an owner-operator in the trucking industry, I would strongly advise you to be a company driver for a minimum of 5 years before you take that plunge. Anyway, I hope this video reaches somebody, and I hope this video wakes someone up, shakes them loose, and makes them think. Hopefully this video will help somebody. If it does, if you like the contents in my video, subscribe to my YouTube channel and share it to other people. I'm not out to build a YouTube channel of millions of viewers. I'm out to try to help my fellow truck driver or somebody thinking about being in the trucking industry. That's the person I'm trying to help. Anyway, hope this helps. Hope this reaches somebody. Click the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when the next video comes out. Over and out, people.